Alright people, so here's a quick guide on how to do stewarding. I will show you two separate things, one for the live stewarding and one for the regular stewarding. They are a little bit different because live stewarding works with time penalties, while the non-live stewarding, the regular stewarding, actually works with the RP. Also, the license point systems used in the different systems are also a little bit different. So let me first start with the live stewarding. So once you're logged in to the backend, which is over here, you will get to choose one of the seasons. For my account here, you still see a test, which was the Watkins Glen 7 hours. You can ignore that. All you guys need to do is click the upcoming season, which is in this case season 11. So you just click that button and you will end up on the main page, basically the dashboard of the season. And the only thing important for you guys here is the inquiries page. So here's a list of all the inquiries currently created by users. The two that you will see on this screen right now are just tests that me and Duce created to test the whole system, since we just moved the live stewarding from Google Spreadsheets to the backend. So I will use the bottom of the two inquiries here to show you some stuff. So I'm going to click it. Over here it says an ID. It shows the status of the inquiry. The bottom one is in progress, which means that you can vote. The top one says waiting for approval. This means that one of the coordinators still needs to check the footage, check if all the required different point of views are included in the footage, and if yes, they can approve it. If no, they can decline it, and a message will be sent to whoever created the inquiry. So let's go to the one that is in progress, and again it's just a test, so it will show incorrect data. It will show a little bit different than what it will look like, since this test still includes Duce as a driver, and of course during live stewarding it will only include the names of the tier 1 drivers. So this is the page where you guys can vote during the live stewarding. One of the coordinators will create the inquiries while live stewarding. Often Lucas does this, and he has a separate page for creating the inquiries. All you guys need to do is go on the here, basically go into the list, and then refresh the list and check if there are new inquiries and vote. You will be doing live stewarding for tier 1 races while being in Discord with all the other stewards and coordinators, and during endurance races it will of course be a little bit different because you will not constantly be in Discord with the other stewards and coordinators, because you may have your own team with who you want to communicate. So this is the inquiry. At the top here in this area, it will display the drivers involved in the inquiry. This can contain 2 up to, let's say, 25 drivers, depending on how bad the incident was. The box below it, which is called your opinion, is the one that you will be working with. The box at the bottom, called final verdict, is for the head stewards to fill out and actually apply the penalty afterwards for live stewarding. So what you guys will need to do is, let's say Leon Band is involved in this inquiry and you want to give him some sort of time penalty. First, what you need to do, you need to decide whether you want to give somebody a penalty or if you want to declare no further action, which is simply done by moving this switch. So if you don't want to give somebody a time penalty or a license penalty, you use this switch. If you do want to give somebody some sort of penalty, you need to use this drop down menu, and you need to decide what sort of penalty you want to give. Could be anything. During live stewarding, we basically only use minor, moderate, and major, or we use a warning, which can be selected here, but you can also use this one to give an additional warning. So if, for example, somebody does a minor and you still also want to give somebody a warning, you use this switch and it will give the driver an additional warning. So let's say lay-on band is to blame for causing a moderate avoidable collision, and during live stewarding this always means and will always result in 2 license points. So that is already written in there, and you cannot change it, because as soon as you change it to something else than 2, it will turn red and you will not be able to save your opinion here at the bottom. So if you then also want to give a time penalty, which in the case of a moderate penalty is pretty normal, you over here select a value between 0 and 30. Now what we usually do is we have values steps of 5 seconds. So usually it would be 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and so on and so on. So let's say we want to give this driver a 20-second time penalty, and this automatically results in 2 license points. We don't want to give lay-on band an additional warning. And then in the box here, you can still write something. For example, you could argue why you give this penalty, or why you, for example, give a reduced penalty. If you, for example, say, yeah, it would actually be like a 20-second time penalty, but because of this, I give a 10, and you can write in here, I gave a reduced penalty due to circumstances. And of course, we expect you to be a little bit more precise than circumstances, but for the sake of being an example, I just wrote that there. In general, if you want to write additional comments, you can do that here. This is then a comment on the whole incident rather than person-specific comments, which you will fill out here, and the general ones go in here. After you're done and you are satisfied with the penalty you've given, or the penalty that you have not given, I'm just writing something here. You can then save your opinion, and as soon as you save your opinion, the inquiry is gone from your screen. If you then click at the top here at Done, inquiries you have done, you can click on there, and you can still find the inquiry and you can still edit it, for example, but as soon as you have saved your opinion, it will be gone from your to-do page. There are many different pages when it comes to inquiries, all based on the status that is here. We still have something here. Only the head stewards can change the status of an inquiry. Normal stewards don't need to pay attention to this. Everything is done automatically when it comes to changing the status from in progress to ready. Ready means that an inquiry has the required amount of opinions, and then afterwards the head steward can close the inquiry and publish the result of it, and the result of live stewarding inquiries will be sent to the race control channel of Tier 1, and a short explanation will be added in there why a certain driver received a certain penalty. Now, the big difference between live stewarding and regular stewarding is the fact that Regular stewarding doesn't use the time penalty system. So instead of TP, it will display RP here, and you can select a certain value for the amount of reduction on the race results you want to give a certain driver. That's basically the biggest difference. And of course, tiers 2 until 10, in the case of season 11, use a license point system which works with steps of 5, which goes from 5 until 40, while the live stewarding goes from 0 to 8. It's basically the same system. You just gotta divide the amount of license points through 8 or by 8, and then you will have the tier 1 system. It's very comparable, but still it's important to keep in mind what you are actually judging. Is it an inquiry of tier 1 or an inquiry of tier 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10? That's basically it. That's all you need to do when it comes to stewarding. Of course, during live stewarding, you will hear a lot of opinions, and people will state their opinion, which may be different from yours, but that is not an issue at all. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and if you disagree with what the others say or think, then that's totally fine. We don't need to always agree on everything. The only thing you need to keep in mind that even if you strongly disagree with the majority of the votes, that majority will still be the conclusion of the inquiry. It won't always go your way. It won't always be exactly the way you think it should go. So as long as you accept that, I think everything should be all right. And that's it, really. That's all there is to live stewarding and regular stewarding. Just take a look at the rules, specifically the stewarding guidelines and also the rules regarding stewarding. Take a look at the different sort of penalties. Just basically read the rules, read the info on season 11 in this case, and you will know exactly what to do.